Hello everybody, it's Bleakborn, and today we're doing a reptile room video for December, 3rd. So let's get right into it. Okay, let's start on this rack here. Down on the bottom, I actually grabbed some moss before it started getting too cold, and I'm kind of got it in some Tupperware to see how well it grows indoors over this winter. In case I make a new anything, I wanted to have some moss ready. So that's what's in those. I'm trying to kind of kill off any bugs that may be hanging out on there, but we'll see. But we'll move up to Cersei's tank. See her in there. She is a pinstripe ball python. She's right around 24 inches, 25 inches. Her tank is a 20-gallon long reptile tank with a screen top. She's got a heat, whatchamacallit? A heat bulb, not really a bulb, but a heat ceramic little guy there. And then below, she has a heat mat. Turn off the upper light so I get less glare. It's planted, it's a vivarium. It don't have a false bottom, and I really wish I would have done one, since it doesn't really keep the moisture very well. It's got a couple different pothos and some other little arrow vines in there. She's got her main hide, her secondary hide, and then she likes to hide underneath the bowl of water. So that's Cersei's tank. We'll move up to this tank here. This is my planted 10-gallon aquarium. It's got a Betta named Morpheas. He actually has a wound on his gill there. I don't know what happened. I'm just keeping an eye on him. He likes to get hurt somehow. Maybe it's a sharp stick or something, but let's see if it focuses. Focus on Morpheas. Oh well. He's a cute little Betta. He gets really blue when he's angry, so it's kind of cool. Beyond that, there's a couple what do they call them? Zebra rasboras, or zebra danios, I mean. There should be 5 of them in total, and they seem to hide pretty well. And right there is one of the Nerite snails, and right there is one of the apple snails. There is a Plakat in here too, bristle nose. There's his butt. Beyond that, there is a little what do they call it? I forgot what they're called. Either way, it's a aquatic flowering. Sorry guys, I can't remember plant names today. But beyond that, it's got some other what do they call it? Java fern, and then Anubias and Anubias. And then behind, we actually have a peace plant sticking out. We also have some get up now. Some frog bit, but actually, as you guys can see, I have a massive aphid infestation on this tank. So, trying to decide what I'm gonna do. I might just cut all the floating lily pads and take all those frog spawns, or not frog spawn, frog bits, and put them in a sealed bag. Maybe kill off all of those aphids. Luckily, they haven't really spread to my planted tanks, so that's good news. They don't seem to like non-aquatic plants. The fish will eat them, but not that often. My light went out, so I have a nice little nightcrew for the tank. In the meantime, it's not as powerful as the other light, and then I have the little 10-gallon hang-on back filter. Over here, I have the thing, still hoping that something shows up, but I lost hope. And then behind it, a small grow out for duckweed back there, and some other little crustacean-y creatures that are hiding in there. And then we'll jump up to the shrimp tank. It is just overrun with algae right now, green spot algae. Because before I put this towel up, the window was shining right through on it, just filling it full of algae. But the shrimp don't really care, so they're all doing pretty good. I threw some extra little snails, and they were attached to these frog bit, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. There's another shrimp. Beyond that, the tank is doing pretty good. There's one of the snails. It's actually one of the a pond snail that I'm hoping to eat all that algae. So we'll jump over to this tank. Oh yeah, this one's a 5 gallon for those that don't know, 5.5. Here's like a gallon hex tank. I have my one and only frog bit that's not got aphids on it. They've cleaned off a couple times, and just kind of sitting here, nothing special yet, just keeping a pump running through it. I want to make sure I have at least one cycled pump that I can put on a tank in a moment's notice. Beyond that, it's just got a little LED bulb you buy at a hardware store in the thing. It was getting too hot, so it stays pretty good now. You probably could keep a beta in that one. We'll jump over to Ziggy's tank, which he's got a couple night crawlers in him today, so he's kind of burrowed and hanging out. His bulge on his neck's coming back, so I might have to pull out some kind of plant in here. I don't know which one's causing it. Something's wrong. Beyond that, this is a 20 gallon, I believe, high aquarium converted to a, whatchamacallit, I'm bad with names today, a planted vivarium full of different kinds of plants. It is so overgrown that it's pretty much cut out light to the bottom level, which makes sense for his area, but it's just so packed full of plants. This light would do great if I could hang it a little higher, but as you guys can see, plants have just decided, hey, we're going to take over the whole tank. So luckily he just is a ground dweller, so he doesn't really care. He doesn't really need the sunlight either. He could be in pitch dark and that's all he'd care about. We'll jump back down to the 10 gallon below him, which is this 10 gallon planted vivarium, paludarium. It's got partial water. It's filled with duckweed, moss, and plants are just going wild. I don't really do much with it. I just kind of let it be. As you guys can see, it's just growing out like crazy. If I ever get a little creature for it, they'll love it. Moss is doing good. All the vines are doing good. That one's just ridiculous, way out over the water. Some of the vines in the back, some of the other aluminum plants and stuff are just filling it up. So this will be a fun, like, firebelly toad, or what do they call it? The African bullfrog, pixie frog tank. But actually I'm only using an aquarium light on it for a slightly bigger tank, like a 20 gallon. And it's got an aquarium purple plant grow light, so it's doing pretty good. For the squeamish, don't look, but here are my Heidi eyes. Look at all of the maggots crawling around. I never really see that happen, but the colony just started producing maggots yesterday, and man, it is filling up. But the other ones are just filled with fruit flies. I actually ran out for 2 days between these cultures. Well, my other cultures all died off. So I made additional cultures today, so I don't have that problem again. We'll jump over to this rack. If you see something new, I got a misting system, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's that green wire, or hose running around. Got the fogging system, misting system bucket, and then some supplies. But we'll move up to the shrimp tank. The main shrimp tank. It is just overgrown with moss, as you guys can see. Each month it just makes it more shrimp, more moss. It looks really nice, like water-wise, it's clean, it's green. There's some algae on the glass, but I keep it for the little babies, as you guys can see, floating around. They just reproduce like mad in here. 2 different types of moss, as far as I can tell, that have kind of grown, but this, I'm guessing this is Java moss, but it's pulled wild from one of our ponds and lakes up here, so it's interesting. And beyond that, the planted aqua soil has just started falling all over the sand, so I've stopped worrying about raking it up. Pump doesn't really work well because that filter gets filled, but they don't really need too much water flow, just enough to keep the surface clean. But there's probably about 1,000 shrimp in there. On the Floki's tank, as you guys can see, he's hanging out. He is a Dragonscale Halfmoon Betta there. He is doing great. Tank's kind of starting to fill out a little bit more. The plants are growing good. Don't know really what's going on with the snail. He's moved probably about 1 foot in a day. I don't think he's gonna live much longer. He's pretty big, you know. Amnerite snail. One of the most interesting things, I got a bunch of ponds. Let's look at that guy. I actually added a couple shrimp into this tank, and he has not killed them. There's a pair of big ones. There's the other one. But what happened is this thing was filled with algae, if you guys remember, and it was just getting overrun by algae. There's some fruit flies. But now, somehow I got pond snails in here from some different, whatchamacallit. Must have been a plant or frog bit or something that came with them, or maybe they've been here the whole time and just finally reproduced enough for me to see them. But they've cleared out my algae problem, so I'm actually happy that the big wad of algae that they've been eating is gone. So they're doing a good job. And then we'll swing up to Tadius's tank. As you guys can see, it's so reflective because I have not cleaned the glass in a while. But here's a little coconut hide. Can't really see much. I'll do a side view. I'll add some footage right now. Of him earlier, but yeah, he's still skittish around the camera. The bromeliads are doing great. Misting system still hooked up in the back, another little thing. But Tadius is a what kind of dart frog is he? He is a Tinc Taurus, powdered blue, and he's doing great. I don't know where he's at right now though. Luckily I got a shot of him earlier. We'll move on to my newest thing. I have a Mist King! Woo! And it works great. The frogs just love it. Ooh, we saw one pop back right there. But this is a, what do they call it, a 10-gallon or a Exoterra small planted vivarium filled with bromeliads for my tiny two little dart frogs, Rantiomea, Imitator, intermedius, that I'm hoping are male and female and I can get them to breed, but they're hiding. I'll hopefully have some good footage of them right now. Hello everybody, it's Bleakborn and I got a rare moment here. Both of the intermedius are out. I believe that right there is Skully and Molder's up top. Man, they are pretty. Apparently they freeze when I come to the tank. But they come out a lot more now that I added the misting system. Oh yeah guys, I added a misting system. Cute as little buggers. I see why people love little thumbnails. They're my favorite. I might feed them a little more. Did you realize those big black dots on the glass there? Those are their poops. Look how big their poops are. Oh, he's moving. I'll stop bugging her. She doesn't really like me. Weren't they cute? Okay, on to the next tank. We have Casey's tank. As you guys can see, he is an East African spiny-tailed lizard, plump as possibly can be. He's not liking the camera, but he's not moving, so that's good. He's in a 10-gallon planted desert vivarium, which, I need to water that cactus a little bit, but I keep it pretty dry in here. I have his water dish, and he just 90% of the time lives in there, but I have a little food dish, put super worms in it, he doesn't mind. I have a UVB bulb there, I have a heat bulb there, and then he can get regular sunlight if he wants, which that's what he's doing there, sitting in the sun. It's a little humid right now at 45%, but this whole room is humid. I have a bunch of plants sitting up in this window, but we'll jump over to the newest addition to the reptile room, slash fish room, slash frog room, is my saltwater aquarium. And I just put it, well, it's been together for about a month and a half. You guys seen a couple videos, the unboxing. And I guess got a couple new things in here. First, there is that, I think it's a, what do they call it? Oh my god, I was just thinking about it earlier. A Yuma or a, and I'm so bad at coral names, but right there in front are the zoanthids and zoanthids over there. And then, I'll move around to this side, maybe you guys can figure out what it is if you guys can correct me. I can't remember what it was called. Kind of look like an anemone, but it looks also like a large zoanthid. It, I believe, was a, starts with a D, but I can't, a Duncan. Yeah, that's what it was. Pretty sure it's a Duncan coral. It's bright bluish green, which is pretty cool in the tank. Those are 2 cardinal fish that I rescued. And there's one of the hermit crabs up there. There's actually a couple little shrimp hiding in those rocks. I couldn't catch them out for my mom. But there's actually a little face, it's really hard to see. But there's actually a watchman goby, a really tiny one in here. He's not a permanent resident, neither are these cardinals, but he's gonna grow out in here a little bit. And if you guys ever seen a feather duster worm before, there's a huge one right there that I picked up yesterday. Tank itself is only a 10-gallon nano reef, pico reef, whatever you guys call it, with just a hang-on back filter for now, heater, power head, and a pretty strong blue saltwater light. There's a little Troncus snail there. Nothing too major going on with this now. I pulled out some extra coral for my mom today, so it's looking a little sparse, and hopefully down the line I'll keep getting more coral. There's that dead coral there. It's got one little live bristleworm and then some red macro algae on it, and then just some regular algae. We'll see what happens there. We'll jump around to the third side. I kind of like having a tank, at least a saltwater tank, sitting out like this. It's got a lot of algae on this side. I haven't tried cleaning. As you guys can see, all the snail markings, but there's a little hermit crab sitting there, and the other one's right up there. But the Cardinals are kind of mad at me for sticking my hands in here all day working on it, so that is the 10-gallon reef tank. On to Khaleesi. She's I believe a red dragon morph of a bearded dragon. Her tail's kind of looking a little brown on the end. I wonder what that's about. Maybe she pooped on it. But I'm thinking of giving her a bath later. She is probably 6 to 8 months old. I can't remember for sure, but I'll probably have that down in the description. We've redone her tank yet again, because she likes to poop all over the rock. So as you guys can see, I see a little stain there, but we put paper towels down, because she just poops and poops and poops, and they're huge. They're, you know, they're big as your finger sometimes, or bigger, and they smell like chicken poop, so, ugh. That's her tank. It is a 40-gallon Zoom Ed reptile tank with nighttime heat light, UVB, and whatchamacallit, man, I'm bad with names today. That's what I get for filming this on a Sunday. Another type of heat bulb, basking bulb, that's what it's called. Thanks for putting up with my bad pronunciations today, guys. And then I'll just show you the worms. I don't think much is happening today. I poured a bunch of coffee grounds in there today, and they're not moving much. Everybody else, the bugs are doing good. I went through all of the roaches today, fed them a lot of extra potatoes and carrots and other food. Went through the isopods, and they're doing great. Like, the canyon ones are bigger than my thumb. I'll do an update video on them all here soon, in the next week or two. I've been doing kind of less videos. I've been so sick lately that it's just been really hard to get a video done on time. But I'm finally feeling better. Ooh, the fogging system's kicked on, as you guys can see. I love the fogging system on this tank. It just hides him completely. And then this tank fills up slowly with fog too. Oh, he's out. He's out, everybody. He's not caring. Oh yeah. There he is, guys. That is Tadius. Hunting fruit flies. As he gets bigger, he cares less about my camera, which is great for a YouTuber. But I'll leave him alone. I don't want to bug him while he's hunting. But there you guys have it. This is my December 2017 last of the year reptile room update. Hopefully I'll have some new videos here in the next couple weeks. And you guys will be able to see all the tanks, updates, and different feedings and stuff. So yeah, if there's any kind of video want me to do, just let me know and I'll film it. And yeah, like, subscribe, share, do whatever you want. Comment, please. I don't care if they're bad or good. Feedback is always feedback. I try to reply to all of you guys as quickly as I can. Sometimes trying to find the songs for my entry for my or my intro for my channel was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.